And I know that in that Vanity Fair piece for Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, she was asked, I believe, what was President Trump's greatest accomplishment so far? And she said something to the effect of she thinks people that are going to be surprised that he is this agent for peace. I mean, he did help broker that ceasefire agreement between Hamas and Israel. Also, she thinks that the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, people will start liking that a little more when they see the effects of it starting next year. When you're looking at this past year, we saw tariff whiplash. We saw Doge take a sledgehammer to the federal government. We see the Ukraine-Russia war continuing on. We also saw that ceasefire deal, like I said, between Hamas and Israel brokered. I mean, are there any bright spots, do you think, in the past year?
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to say yes, but ultimately no. Even when you're talking about this ceasefire agreement that he helped usher in, it's already been broken. That's not his fault. I think that we have to be good actors and do the best and hope for change, and also expect, unfortunately, that sometimes you're not negotiating with people who are also working in good faith. So I will say I think that was important, but also I don't know that now it's at this point done anything in the long term if it is going to be. I hope so, but so far to me, signs indicate that it's the same old, same old. That doesn't mean that you don't try. And to that Vanity Fair piece and to the Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, I mean, I think that was really wild, that piece and those photos. And I'm sure folks tuning in have seen them all. If you haven't, it's very interesting. But here's the thing: is that I am an American citizen. I'm proud to be an American citizen, but something to look at as an American citizen is also the ability to be able to criticize your country and the leaders of it. And that is not a Democrat thing or a Republican thing. You can find countless quotes from folks on both sides of the aisle, including Ronald Reagan, including Theodore Roosevelt, who have said similar sentiments. And so, though I want our president and our leader to always be successful, I think it's also important to call them out when they're not. And especially, it's one thing to try something and to be unsuccessful. It's another thing to just not even fulfill the promises that you said you would and not even try or come up with an excuse or blame it on the other person before you. I think that's kind of where we have found ourselves at this time.
And then looking ahead to 2026, according to Emerson College polling, President Trump's approval rating completely flipped. Now it sits at a 41% approval, 50% disapproval. When you're looking at how people feel about the handling of the economy, it's not good. Affordability, not good. And then when you're thinking about 2026, how do you think that all factors in?
Yeah, I think that Democrats have a real opportunity here to try to capitalize on Republicans, whether you want to call them failures, whether you want to call them miscalculations, broken promises, inability to deliver. I think that there is an opportunity here. At the same time, I still think that they're sort of adrift without a paddle. I'm pretty sure I've said that here, that quote exactly. And I'm also not totally convinced that they know what they're doing. Now, I do think that they're in a better place now than they were at the beginning of the year. I still don't know that they have a leader. And if they're looking for one, I think some of the Democrats who have sort of stood out in a good way are Governor Newsom. Even though I'm not a big fan of his, he's been able to sort of break into that echo chamber in a way that other people haven't. I think Senator Mark Kelly has been a fairly moderate voice. I think Senator Elisa Slotkin from Michigan is young, is new leadership. And I think, if folks are looking to what does 26 and 28 look like, those are sort of the folks to keep an eye on if you're a Democrat, I think, or just in general, if you're interested in politics. I think those are some of those rising stars.